Okay. Got a different setup tonight. If you have, where am I? I'm in my living room. Sometimes I stop out here because I want a different setup. Just change the scenery. That's the short and skinny. My couch is way more comfortable than the chair in my office. Can you? Because obviously I don't have on headphones, and the main reason I wear them is for sound, to test the sound or whatever. If you can hear me, let me know. I'm actually, hold on for a second here. I'm gonna pull up the chat in a different window. If that, bear with me, because I got some things to say. Also, let me know if the internet is good or not, because I am not plugged into my Ethernet. It says it's going in and out. The sound's going in and out. Office. Okay, I got the chat popped out. Hold on. Okay, yes, no. Actually, just put a 1 in there. Okay, I'm gonna fire this back up in my studio. Okay, so just bear with me, and I'm gonna go live. So someone said they can hear me, but the video quality is not very good. This isn't gonna be long, by the way, because it's already late. You know, I don't really do live streams this late, but I just had to say something about this Maxine Waters situation. And it only took me like 5 minutes to do that little thumbnail, because devil horns belong on this woman's head. She is so wicked. This is one of, if for all the people out there, let me just start at the beginning. Let me just start at the beginning. Okay. Y'all know I've made videos about the people in Congress who've been there for decades: Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, the Feinsteins, all of them, right? For this woman to call for the president to be, the former president, Trump, to be arrested and charged with murder is just insane. This is crazy. I don't know if you guys heard the video or not. Very good place to start. Okay, check this out. I'm just going to play it for y'all.
Following the president of the United States of America, who had advanced planning about the invasion that took place in our capital. And even there's information that some of the planning came out of individuals working in his campaign. As a matter of fact, he absolutely should be charged with premeditated murder because of the lives that were lost with this invasion, with this insurrection.
Premeditated murder. He should be charged with murder. This woman, man, if anybody should be charged with some type of crime, it should be the devils in Congress who have been ripping this country off, destroying their districts, their cities, their states, robbing the American people, robbing us, taking tax money. Those are the people that should be locked up. Those are the people that should be facing charges. You're talking about a woman that has been in Congress since I've been alive. The 43rd Congressional District of LA, where she doesn't even live. She has a mansion in another district. She just got caught giving like $1 million or so of taxpayer money, campaign money, whatever it was, to her daughter. This woman called for incivility, right? That's the big elephant in the room, right? I was going to save that to the end. From the very minute, and I remember this back in 2017, from the very minute, or maybe it was 2018, from the very minute that she stood on that podium in front of that crowd of clapping seals and just spilled out that bile, that unhinged rant where she called for people to push back on Trump supporters, on people from his cabinet, that's when you started to see the incivility go up. It's been her, it's been Nancy Pelosi, it's been Hillary Clinton, it's Eric Holder. When they go low, we kick them. These people are such frauds. They are so fake, man. I cannot stand it. So fake. They want to talk about what the president said the day after apparently all these attacks were planned. They want to talk about what he said. When he said peacefully and patriotically, those words came out of his mouth. I know the facts are inconvenient, just like with the Charlottesville thing. They don't care about that. They care about their narrative. They care about their conclusion that they draw, and then they work backwards from that. These people don't care. They don't care about the incivility. Don't let them make you think for 1 second that they care about the safety of people in this country, because they don't. They see if you supported the president, you are a second-class citizen. You are the reason that the world has any problems. It's you. If you voted for Trump, if you ever said something nice about the guy, if you think highly of him, then you wanted people to be murdered at the Capitol. That's the logic. That's what they're going with. That's what they're saying on mainstream news. That's what these politicians are saying. These politicians that I say are devils, because you know what? It takes a special kind of vessel for Satan to do his evil, right? What better vessel for Satan to manipulate and utilize to carry out these evil deeds than the politicians in Washington, D.C. From the first time I went there, I got evil, demonic vibes from that city. Standing next to the Capitol building, I got wicked, evil vibes from that building because there's so much evil there. Maxine Waters, it's Nancy Pelosi, it is AOC. What do they do best? What do politicians do best? Everyone's all shocked and appalled that AOC got caught in a lie. I wasn't. Why? Because she's a politician. That's what they do. They lie. But their lies have so much damage downstream. AOC, when she lied about kids in cages and the United States is running concentration camps on our southern border, then you saw people trying to firebomb ICE facilities, trying to mass murder people, lock them in buildings with quick drying cement. You saw Ted Cruz get run out of restaurants. You saw Rand Paul and his wife accosted. You saw actual violence spawn off of the rhetoric that comes out of the mouth of people like Maxine Waters. But she wants to turn around and get on TV with her arrogant, narcissistic ass and say that Trump should be charged with attempted murder over what happened. Okay, Maxine Waters, you should be charged with at least 24 counts of murder, and is along with you and everybody else on CNN and Nancy Pelosi and all of these Democrats. Ayanna Pressley, that's another fireball right there that's always spilling out this bile, this rhetoric, these lies, the false narrative that's not backed by facts. Oh, black people are getting hunted down, systemic racism, systemic oppression. All they do is fan the flames, and then look what happens. You get hundreds, if not thousands of people in the streets, burning buildings, blocking traffic on the highway, destroying property, killing people, murdering people, looting, destruction. And then what happens? Tax dollars go up, or they raise taxes to repay, to rebuild. I might have to go to bed soon, guys, because I'm really tired. I'm kind of running on fumes here, but I just had to get this out because I didn't know about it. So if those of you just joining in, I'm going to play it for you one more time so you can hear it for yourself.
Following the President of the United States of America, who had advanced planning about the invasion that took place in our capital. And even there's information that some of the planning came out of individuals working in his campaign. As a matter of fact, he absolutely should be charged with premeditated murder because of the lives that were lost with this invasion, with this insurrection.
Who lets this woman speak like this? Premeditated murder? Premeditated? Really, premeditated means it was actually planned out. We're going to catch this person in this spot, and this is what's going to happen. She has no evidence to back this up. She has no proof to back this up. She's just spewing garbage. And what's this going to do? Ultimately, it's going to fan more flames. You're going to have more incivility. And of course, the media, they're just going to sweep it under the rug. They're going to pretend like it didn't happen, just like when she had that crazy unhinged rant 2 years ago. And it literally lasted up until the election. It wasn't just her. It was right before midterms. I remember it. It was right before midterms. Ever since then, you started seeing way more attacks, way more hate crimes, a lot of stuff happening because of that rhetoric. And they just let her get away with it. Just can't believe it. Just can't believe it. So he should be charged with murder, but you should go scot-free. How do you sleep at night knowing that you're doing the devil's work? That's just wicked. This woman is evil. Evil. If there was ever somebody I would want to say something to, it would be her. It would be her. Nancy Pelosi would be a nice second. Chuck Schumer. The people that always fan the flames, the people that lie, the people that push the propaganda, the false narrative that keeps everybody at each other's throats, want to charge the president with attempted murder over something that he did not incite that. Those are just the facts. Just had to say that. Just had to get that out there. Like I said, this is going to be short because I know that the quality is not as good out here. I'm a little bit further away from my router, but I didn't feel like going in the studio and putting it all together. But I just had to say that Maxine Waters is absolutely insane. This woman's crazy. These people in Congress, we're going to continue to call them out, continue to expose them, continue to just put that out there. I mean, like, this is wild stuff. All of that on top of everything else has been going on. AOC caught in another lie. Like I said, I'm not surprised these politicians lie. They lie a lot. They mostly lie about what they say they're going to do. And then when they get elected and they go to office, they do the exact opposite. That's why you got Biden buyer's remorse right now. People are pretty upset. He said, "Oh, I'm not going to ban fracking." Just kidding. Yeah, I am. I'm going to do that. Oh, no. I'm going to shut down the virus. I have a plan for the virus. No, just kidding. I don't. It's usually those kind of lies. But the kind of lies that people like Maxine Waters are spewing, those are meant to do a lot more damage. It's one thing if you lie to somebody. I'm not giving them excuses, but people like Biden, whatever, they want to lie about what they say they're going to do, and then they go in office and do another thing. That's just a politician. But people like Maxine Waters, when she tells those kind of lies, when AOC tells a lie saying Ted Cruz almost had me murdered. See, these Democrats are always overreaching. They always overcorrect. It's always a massive just overcorrection and exaggeration. It's always hyperbolic. Well, Ted Cruz was there. Ted Cruz was responsible for me almost getting murdered. Come to find out you weren't even in the building. You just want clout. You just want people to give you attention. That's what these people are doing. And what they do when they lie about that, we're running concentration camps, push back on them. You're just fanning the flames. You're just giving orders, marching orders to the foot soldiers that are going to go out in the street and harass politicians, harass civilians. I'm just tired of it, man. That's pretty much all I can say about it. I can talk till 6 a.m., but I'm not going to do that. I just had to get that rant out. Let me give you guys some shout outs and then I'm going to wrap it up. And this is the reason I don't do live streams very late, because my mind's just not as sharp. But and before I go, I want to talk quickly about Mar-a-Lago. Okay. So we're going to Mar-a-Lago on February 15th, Monday, President's Day. It's still kind of coming together, but the plan is to just show up. We have the location. It's a place. I've never been to Mar-a-Lago, but I have a friend that lives down there, so he knows the spot. It's apparently the spot where all people go to stand and get a view of Trump as he drives out. So there's a big area that's like right on the causeway. If you've been there, you know. If not, there's a location on the little flyer that I shared. This is meant to be a celebration. This is not a protest. This is not a grievance. I mean, it's really meant to try to uplift. It's meant to bring people together, and show their support for great presidents of the past, including the best of our lifetime. He's going to be in that building, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he's probably going to come out and see us, because when we were outside of Walter Reed, he did a flyover. Or actually, no, he didn't do a flyover. He came by in the motorcade. He did a flyover when he left. If he sees thousands of his supporters outside of Mar-a-Lago on President's Day, waving their flags, cheering, smiling, being peaceful and patriotic, he's going to come out and say hello. And what better way to, spend a holiday, because that's what it is, President's Day, than celebrating and appreciating the best president we've ever had. So I think it's a great idea. And we haven't been able to celebrate anything, really. I mean, the election was 3 months ago. So, what have we done since then? It's been nothing but chaos, confusion, frustration, and disappointment. People have had a sour taste in their mouth. So why not have one day that maybe we could turn the corner, something to celebrate, something to get excited about, something to rally behind. So that's what it is. I know some people have messaged me and said, Mike, are you sure it could get violent? It won't get violent because it's a different vibe. It's a whole different vibe. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different location. It's not that wicked, evil Washington, D.C. I'm telling you, if you haven't been to D.C., go there. You'll sink. You'll feel the heaviness of that city, especially when you get towards the Capitol building. But nevertheless, we're going to be at Mar-a-Lago. Come if you can. The more people that show up, the better. At the very least, I will be live streaming the entire thing. I do expect there to be hundreds of people there. There's no telling if it'll be thousands, because chances are, if you don't live in Florida, you probably aren't going to come down just for that day, especially if there's no speakers. But it's one of those things also where it's a kind of word of mouth thing. The more people who hear about it, the more people are going to try to show up. And you never know, you might get somebody who lives in the area or maybe a more prominent speaker to show up. This is not a formal thing at all. It's literally just like a Trump rally flag wave, just like what we do over here in Central Florida when we go stand on street corners, which I'll be doing tomorrow. It's going to be one of those things. So don't expect it to be like a super organized thing. Although that could happen, it just won't be happening because I'm not the one organizing it. I'm just kind of trying to fan it out over social media, get the word out. Hope you're sharing it. But yeah, come out to Mar-a-Lago on Monday, the 15th for President's Day. I believe it starts at 11:45, but again, it's not a formal thing with a start time and an end time. That's just, it's just a play on numbers, starting at 45 after. You get it. I'm sure people will probably be there all day. People are camped out on the regulars to try to get a glimpse of Trump whenever he goes golfing or goes wherever. So that's the move. So hope to see you guys there. And thank you, End Times, for the super chat. Appreciate you. You like that thumbnail? Not my potato. Yeah. Someone says, it seems like we're living out in 1984. I mean, that's one way to put it. This feels like 1984 meets The Matrix, meets The Truman Show, meets every psychological thriller movie you've ever seen. That's what it feels like. It feels like the movie Outbreak, The Matrix, man, The Truman Show. There's so many different movies, man, that you could compare this weird, goofy timeline we're in. Jane, or was it Jane or Janet? Janet, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I feel like I've calmed down a little bit. My thoughts are in my mind now. They're a little more organized. Someone said Soylent Green. I don't recall that movie. I heard about it, but I never saw it. Someone said you go to DC and it looks like half cult, half wasteland. I mean, DC right now is like, it's a militarized zone. Like, what are they doing there? It's probably going to be that way throughout Biden's whole term. Militarized. protecting the Capitol, protecting the White House. And since they have control of the military and the government, they're going to feel even more emboldened to come after you, to come after me, to shut down social media, to try to snuff out the Second Amendment, to continue spewing their rhetoric about how Trump supporters are neo-Nazis, white supremacists. They need to be charged with murder. They need to be thrown off the internet. We need to limit the reach of these conservative platforms that have more viewers than daytime CNN. This is what is happening. And they're just getting started. We're only, 5 days into the second month of the year? And this is where we are. Maxine Waters calling for the former president to be charged with premeditated murder, while she herself is on camera multiple times calling for incivility. And on top of all of her other wicked, evil deeds, on top of the fact that she penned a love letter to Fidel Castro back in the day, they're always cozying up to the world's worst people. It's pure projection. 100% of the time, it's pure projection. Calling people racist while they judge people by the color of their skin and want to pass race-based policies. Black people get the vaccine first. Critical race theory. All the things. They just pressured the Supreme Court to back off of a case of discrimination that got elevated up there. I think it was Yale. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the Yale University thing where they were discriminating against Asians and whites in favor of blacks and Hispanics. It's that comes from the left. That's leftist doctrine, while they project racism onto their political opposition. That's just one example. Todd Terrell, thank you for the super chat. Someone asked if I'm black. I voted for Trump. So, according to Biden, no, definitely not. Yeah, so it's always projection. They'll tell you you're violent while they're beating people up. They'll tell you violence is speech, but speech is violence. Silence is violence. Violence is speech. Down is up. Left is right. Good is bad. Bad is good. Let's just invert reality like Satan. That's what they do. That's what they do. And yeah, let's have, and there's no end. Every time you think they could sink lower, you think they hit the bottom, they find a way to just sink lower. That's what they do. And I find it very strange, and I really shouldn't even go that route because YouTube might crack down. But I think it's really interesting that last week the World Health Organization said, pregnant women, this might be a good time for them to go ahead and get vaccinated. I'm like, why? I thought that we were starting with the most vulnerable of our population, the seniors and people in nursing homes. It's just, no, I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but it all just kind of starts coming to me as I'm thinking through it about just how it's bigger. It's Maxine Waters is why I made this video, but I got to zoom out, and you can't lose sight of the fact that it's a bigger picture. This whole spiritual aspect of it, the spiritual activity is at an all-time high, and it's playing out on so many fronts. Sometimes it's confusing. It can be very hard to sift through it, but that's just one aspect of it. It's the medical aspect of it. It's the freedom aspect of it. It's all these things. The walls seem to be closing in, but we're gonna weather this storm. We're gonna make it through this, guys. We really are. And I really hope that you guys show up to Mar-a-Lago on the 15th. At any point in time during the day. It's probably going to be an all-day event. It's not like it's 11 45 until 2. I mean, people are going to probably come and go all day. There'll probably be people driving by with their flags and all that stuff. But I expect it to be 100% peaceful, 100%. Don said, Mike, I work in corporate America, and one thing I've noticed is many white men are very comfortable with socialism and are brainwashed by sports. Your thoughts? I've talked about this a couple different times over the years. Go look at some of my older videos. I've talked about how the socialist belief sprouts up in youth as you're going through college. And by the time you get to college, you pretty much think that socialism doesn't sound so bad, because on paper, it doesn't sound bad. It sounds like everybody's going to get this. You're going to have equal this. Education's going to be free. And, you know, before you're a taxpayer, you're like, well, duh, I don't want to see homeless people. Of course I want that, right? So, and the way that they put a certain sheen on it. And by the time you get to college, if not in high school now, I mean, it's been years since I was in high school. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not reading the Communist Manifesto by sophomore year. The way that they talk about Karl Marx in a positive light, they talk about Mao in a positive light. They just kind of, I mean, think about some college kids that wear Che Guevara t-shirts. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Asian. The way that they talk about some of these dictators and some of these evil people, it's not surprising. And then, of course, when you factor in culture, mainstream culture, how many of those Hollywood celebrities praised Hugo Chavez for what he was doing in Venezuela? They loved it. They were talking. He was the man. He was all part of that Hollywood scene. They loved Hugo Chavez. Okay. Now look at Venezuela. They had the richest oil reserves in the world. Now they have rolling blackouts and people are killing cows with rocks so that they can eat. I'm not making that up. And they want that here because, I think there's several different reasons why. I think it's a spiritual thing. There's a reason that there's a reason that this country has been so free and prosperous over the years. And now we're starting to struggle. We fell from glory because we turned away from God. So they've perverted the minds of the youth. The youth that has lived in the most privileged time, the most privileged era. We take everything for granted here. If you grew up in the United States and this is the only country you're not, even if you're poor here, you're not poor by global standards. You can find drinking water. Like, homeless people don't just die of starvation. Some of them do, but even homeless people here are doing much better than, imagine being homeless in Venezuela on top of living in a socialist country where people who have jobs, people who have a place to sleep still can't feed their friends or still can't feed their family or their friends or anybody. Nobody can really eat. So here, you know what I'm saying? Like, homeless people, they can still get drinking water. They can find homeless shelters. There's a lot of resources here for even the poorest amongst us. So if you grew up in a place like this, of course, no bombs going off. Everything's good. You have free will to do whatever you want. You can criticize the government here. So of course, you take everything for granted here. It's much easier to turn your back on your country, and then the tough times will start rolling in. That's what I said. Don said, Mike, I've noticed the second draw of PPP CARES Act funding is so focused on women and minorities. Why do you think that is? I think it's because of who's in leadership right now. It's identity politics. It's focused on equity. It's equality of outcome. It's turning a functioning society on its head. That's what I think. And I know for people just tune in, they're like, I thought this was about Maxine Waters. I mean, my blood pressure will go through the roof if I just spent this whole time talking about her, because she's just so evil, so evil. So it's only right that I kind of pivot to something else. You notice, like when I first was talking, I couldn't even collect my thoughts. I was all over the place. I actually should do, if it's something like that where I'm really passionate, I actually need to write down bullet points and do like a pre-recorded video. That way I can, do jump cuts, edit it out like I used to do for people that have been following me since back in the day. I used to do a lot of those videos. It was much easier to do it then than now. But you notice when I was talking about her, I was all over the place. But now I'm good. But yeah, she's a wicked person. She calls for incivility. But yeah, I was talking about her. But now we're talking about all these other things. And I actually do have other topics. What else is going on? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Boy, she I'll say this about her. I'm not like this gung-ho fan of hers, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm rooting for her basically, because she is going against the establishment. She is disrupting the status quo. She pisses off all the right people. The media has instantly given her the Trump treatment. So I'm like, she got to be doing something right. If CNN is upset, if Mitch McConnell's upset, if all those freshman Democrats from a couple years ago, the squad, if they're upset, I'm like, okay, she must be doing something right. Not everything right. No, she said some stuff that I'm like, I don't know about that. But what did she get wrong about the 9/11 thing? About there's no plane wreckage outside of the Pentagon. I mean, is that really a conspiracy theory? If there's Netflix documentaries on it, if your eyes show you, hey, there's no like 757 size hole in the Pentagon, and yet you're telling me a plane hit it. You're gaslighting me. I'm just saying, man, come on. Come on. She said that in the halls of Congress. Come on. That sounds like something I would say in the halls of Congress. Instead of being some milquetoast, plasticky politician that just says what you want to hear, gives you lip service. She's actually saying some things that are true. And they want to impeach. They want to not impeach her, but they want to remove her from these committees for what she said 3 years ago on Facebook, when she was just like the average person out there just speaking her mind on the internet. Freedom of speech. That's her big crime. That's the big scoop before she was in politics. So she's getting persecuted for what she did before politics. But you have people who've been in office that aren't getting removed from committees for what they've done like 5 minutes ago. Eric Swalwell sleeping with a Chinese spy, and he just got a promotion. Democrats measure success by failure. They measure success by failure. That's probably why. No, I won't even say it. I won't even say it because I don't want it to happen. I do want Gavin Newsom to be recalled, but I was going to say he's done such a terrible job. He'll probably get reelected. But you know what I'm saying? They won't take Eric Swalwell off his committee. What about Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib? I mean, do we really need to keep going? All the people who should be expelled from Congress altogether for what they did on taxpayer dime, and they want to go after Marjorie Taylor Greene for what she said on Facebook and what she did years ago. And again, with the gaslighting, the headlines of some of the articles that are being written about her, like, she trolled David Hogg. She went after David Hogg and she harassed him. No, she asked him, and this is before she was in Congress. Again, this was like 2019. She asked him how he was able to get meetings with 30 people on Capitol Hill. As a gun owner, she was trying to have a conversation with him. Of course, he was walking off. But is it really harassment to say that? And, oh, by the way, didn't Maxine Waters say it's okay to just kind of harass people? Not that she was doing it, but if she was doing it, let's just have the same standard. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying keep it 100. Keep the same energy. Keep the same standards. No more double standards. No, well, it's okay if Democrats do it, or we can pretend like they didn't do it if Republicans didn't do it. we're going to pretend like they did do it. And if they did it way before they were actually in a position of consequence, it still doesn't matter. We're going to treat them as if they did do it while they were in a position of consequence. We're going to persecute you. We're going to prosecute you for you inciting violence, even though we're on record in viral videos calling for it. We're going to pretend it doesn't exist. And guess what? We're going to tell you it didn't happen and gaslight you into oblivion and make you think you're the one that's crazy. Like, no. This is it's fiery, but it's mostly peaceful. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing to you. That's what they're cramming down your throat every single day. Is this isn't your reality? Just wear the mask. It's good for you. It's healthy. Breathe it in. Breathe in your own carbon dioxide. This is what our daily lives are. Without people like me saying stuff like this, without people cracking through it with their brain, this is the reality. They're saying, shut up and accept it. Shut up and trust the science. You racist. If you don't agree, you're a racist bigot. We'll tar and feather you with all the labels. We'll run you out of your industry wherever you worked at. We'll throw you offline. We will topple your business. We will disrupt your financial well-being. And that's just the way it goes. And if you don't like it, we control the military. We'll take your guns. We'll lock you up. We'll extort money from you if you don't wear a mask. This is what we're up against. That's what it is, man. It's Lizzie Jean says, is it true that Trump threw Marjorie Taylor Greene under the bus? I have no clue. The reason why I don't know is because I haven't heard a word from Trump because he doesn't have Twitter anymore. But yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that was the crazy thing. They're going after her. So I think it's interesting. I'm going to continue watching it. I think it's fascinating. She's ruffling feathers. She is, I guess, controversial. Kind of makes you wonder what could have happened if you had Laura Loomer win as well. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer together in the halls of Congress. Man, you want to talk about nuclear meltdowns on a daily? Man, if only. What else? Newsmax. Now, I don't know if y'all saw the clip of whoever it was on Newsmax. I don't know the hosts on that show. I never jumped on the Newsmax bandwagon. I didn't see the big deal with it. It's like everyone was like Newsmax. I was like, no, right side. But Newsmax, I guess, got their big boost after Fox News dropped the ball on election night. So everyone, jumped on the Newsmax bandwagon. It took off. Anyway, they had Mike Lindell on the other night, and they started talking about the election. Of course, Mike Lindell, he went on to talk about all of the evidence, and he was talking about Dominion and all that stuff. And then the host got so frustrated with him that he just left. He interrupted him, shut him down a bunch. I'm just like, why would you even bother having him on if you were just going to shut the man down? Like, you're not going to let him speak. You're just going to interrupt him and get all like crazy about it. It's like, why would you have him on? Did you not know this was going to happen? So they lost a lot of, I guess, credibility. They lost some followers, some viewers. I don't know. But I mean, as far as what they've done to Fox News, it's pretty damaging between them, One America News, and RSBN. This is the new, and really RSBN is the only true grassroots viewer-funded media out there. Newsmax, I think, is they got investors. I know OAN has investors, but anyway, I just think that drama was kind of weird. It's kind of awkward to watch. It's like, why would you even have the man on if you're not going to let him speak? You know what he's going to talk about. Someone said, will I be filming the rally tomorrow? I don't know about what rally there is tomorrow, but the rally on February 15th, yes, I will be live streaming that whole thing. People keep asking me, am I still with RSBN? Yes, I am still with Right Side. The thing is, we're just kind of on standby right now. I mean, people are like, I haven't seen you on Right Side in a while. It's like, That's because there's nothing for me to report on. Like, do you want me to report on Biden? Like, what is, we do have some things coming up. We're going to be in Minnesota. That was either today or tomorrow. I don't know. We're going up to the My Pillow headquarters because Mike Lindell is giving a tour or something like that. So we're going to do a live tour. Apparently, because, Bed Bath & Beyond and some of these other retailers got pressured to take his pillows off the shelves. This is, again, what we're up against this year is if you don't toe the line, if you don't accept the election, if you believe this or that, we will destroy you. But it doesn't work. Whatever they do tends to backfire. It happened with Goya. It happened with everything else they try to cancel. It's happening with My Pillow. Luckily, he's self-sustainable, and you don't need to go to Bed Bath & Beyond to buy his pillows. You can buy it directly from the source. So we're going to give a tour of that and show that his company's still thriving. But other than that, there's not a lot going on right now. So naturally, I'm on standby. But, if we can get a big enough crowd to show up on the 15th, maybe, just maybe, there might be an opportunity for RSBN to cover it. Because why not cover it? Especially if the crowd is big enough that Trump recognizes it. If Trump sees it, if Trump gets wind of it, he's probably going to do a drive-by. He'll come out in the motorcade. He'll do something. I'm willing to bet that's what he will do. That will probably make his entire day if a bunch of supporters go down there to wave flags and show their appreciation for the best president ever. Like, it just makes too much sense at this point. And I think we need a win. We need something to celebrate. But yes, I am still with Right Side. Someone asked if am I going to meet with Paint the Trump tomorrow? Probably. Yes. RSBN tomorrow at 12 noon tomorrow, My Pillow. And then I think we're going out to California for the recall Gavin Newsom thing. That's starting to pick up steam. We'll see if they can get it done. That would be great. So yeah, I think, oh yeah, here's another doozy for you guys. Here's another doozy. I'm old enough to remember when Trump was caging babies. You remember that? 2018. Donald Trump is caging little brown children on the southern border. Well, now Biden is putting, unaccompanied immigrant children in overflow facilities. What's an overflow facility, guys? What do you think? Any guesses? What does an overflow facility sound like? Sounds a little bit like kids in cages, right? Kids in cages, the kids in cages, the cages that were built under the Obama administration, where they were actually putting kids in cages and making them wear like foil blankets. I don't know what that is, what that is, but and then they use those photos to say, look what Trump's doing right now in 2018 to fan the flames and get a bunch of people outraged who watch CNN, who wait for CNN to tell them why they're angry. Literally, the people who are pissed off at whatever they're pissed off at today is because CNN told them to. And then whenever the news stops reporting it, they just assume the problem went away. They forget about it and they move on to the next thing. This is what they do. They have to constantly feed the perpetual outrage machine with false narratives and lies. So now, they're saying Biden is, putting these undocumented, unaccompanied minor immigrant children in overflow facilities because overflow facility sounds better than, cages. We reserve cages. We reserve it for when a Republican's in office, but when a Democrat's in office, it's just an overflow facility. And there are people actually dumb enough to swallow that pill whole. They just buy it. It's just true. It's sad. I don't say it to be mean. I say it because it's true. People wait to find out what they should be upset about, and then they just go rage in that direction. They're just like little pissed off wind-up dolls. It's like, here's what you need to be mad about. Here's what's going on today. Now go, 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 go. Then they come back the next day when they run out of steam, get wound up again. All right, now go rage in that direction. It's like just responding to all the stimulus. Let's just go here. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm just saying, the hypocrisy rains from the sky. But yeah, Biden's overflow facility is, cages. But where's the outrage? The outrage was never real. It was always fake. I had a falling out with a close family member over the kids in cages thing because I'm like, yo, this was back in 2014. These photos that you're sharing with me, telling me, Cheeto Mussolini and his hardline immigration. He's locking up these kids. He's caging these babies. I'm like, but this was happening in 2014 and you didn't seem to give a damn. So why are you pretending to care right now? And oh, by the way, where are you at now that Biden is in office and he's doing the same thing, even though they're calling it something else? Crickets. Exactly. Nothing. They got nothing to say. Okay. If you got nothing to say now, but you were flapping your gums 5 minutes ago when Trump was in office, don't come to me with this. You're fake. Don't be fake. I don't like fakeness. If you can't keep the same energy across the board, don't say a word to me. I don't care, and neither do you. I'm going to call you out if you're going to be fake and pretend to care and be outraged by, it's phony, selective outrage. But you're going to pretend, oh my God, everything is Trump. Okay, that's why I say blessing in disguise. Now that Biden's in office, every single thing Biden does that Trump did, but they criticize him for, I'm hammering him for it. I'm coming after you. I'm going to expose you for the fraud and fake that you are. You are a phony. If you were outraged at Trump, what he did on the southern border, supposedly did, is so evil, even though it wasn't. We saw what it was. We saw the facilities. They had ping pong tables and Xbox and all that stuff. Even though Trump was doing it, Biden's doing it. You have nothing to say. Then expect to get called fake, because that's what it is. It's fake outrage. That's what these people are doing. And it's sad because I shouldn't have to have a falling out with a family member because they don't pay attention to how they're being manipulated by the media. They're literally watching CNN, MSNBC, and getting outraged at whatever the commentator decides to talk about that day. Imagine being at the whims and at the mercy of some script writers. Like, here's what we want America to be pissed off about today. There's 100 million stories, but let's talk about the worst thing that happened on earth today. Let's talk about that. Let's spread fear and hate and division. That's what we want to spread. We don't want to talk about the positive stories. If it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. They want the most negative, unstable news story, whatever they can do to destabilize somebody's mind, whatever information they can fill your head with to make you think the world is actually a terrible place, they'll do it. Americana said, Mike Nificent, I had the exact same fallout with my family. Dang it, it always does that when I'm reading it. Had the exact same fallout with my family over Trump versus things Obama, Biden did. I was disowned. They said I was part of the problem because I voted for Trump. Yeah, it's bad. It's actually really bad. It's so unhealthy. I don't know if we will get back to where we were before, where at least you could just not talk about politics at Thanksgiving. Used to never talk about politics at Thanksgiving. Now you don't even get invited to Thanksgiving. People have had real falling outs, real fracturing. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. You can look at it either way. You could say it's bad, families getting torn apart, marriages. Obviously, it's unhealthy to divorce somebody because they voted for Trump. That's just weird. That's goofy. But people did it because they were just so far gone. But at the same time, isn't that like a blessing? If that person was a loose cannon and they were so unhinged that they divorce you because of your political beliefs, aren't you better off for knowing that? So you get what I'm saying? It could be a bad thing or it could be a good thing. It's my belief that in life, things don't happen to you. They happen for you. So as much as it sucks that I had family, some family, it's very few people, very few, disavow me and just kind of, you know, disown me, I mean, it's fine. It's like I lost a lot of friends, or maybe I didn't lose friends. Maybe I just found out who they were. You know, it's just all about how you look at it. But that's just kind of the way things are. I never expected. I think we were all blindsided by it. I knew that people didn't like Trump when he got elected, but I had no idea how deep the Trump derangement syndrome was. I've literally had people unfollow me for putting facts online. It's like I put together a compilation of videos showing the hypocrisy of the left. It's like, I'm not even putting my opinion on this. I'm just saying, hey, look, here's a laundry list of times where all these people talked about blowing up the White House and all this crazy stuff, all this rhetoric, and you didn't care then. So why do you care now? Just curious. They would unfollow me, get upset, because the truth is, you know, it's an inconvenient truth. It's like, actually, yeah, he's right. I kind of being fake here. Anyway. I was supposed to wrap this up a few minutes ago, wasn't I? I always do this. But I think I got everything on that list. And if you haven't heard the song Fake Woke yet, check it out. I don't know the guy's name, but it was actually, I have YouTube Music, and it popped up as in my recommendations. So I checked it out, and I actually saw people talking about it the other day online. It was a great song. Great song. Tom McDonald, that's his name. Tom McDonald. So I guess he's a rapper or something. He has a song called Fake Woke. I want y'all to check it out. It's an incredible song. It's really deep. And that's what we need. You know, we need more hard-hitting music to combat the leftist, Marxist, anti-American culture that is dominated by the left. They dominate in the cultural space with their artwork, with their music, with their theater and their comedy. It's all railing against you. They hate you. And it's destructive. All of their stuff is destructive. It's about tearing down, not building up. It's all about like this systemic, this racism, that homophobia, this transphobic, that. It's always just like there's plight. The sky is always falling. Everything sucks. I hate the world. It's always just hate. And it's always like, oh, it's those flyover bigots in middle America. It's all about hating someone else. It's like, we get it. There was a past, but like your response to make the world a better place is we actually got to hate them. We need to hate them with all our might. And we should actually join up and hate them. But then they're going to tell you that you're the ones that are hating them. So we need more like hip hop and art. And that's why I love just seeing like Bryson Gray and then Tom McDonald and Forgiato Blow and other people with their art, their music. We need to try to win back culture. I mean, I don't agree with Ben Shapiro on a lot of stuff these days, but he's right about some things. He's right. I think he's releasing a movie, or he did just release a movie. That's how you win back culture, is you have to bring conservative ideology to the forefront, but not in a like forceful way, not in an authoritarian way, but as a like, hey, remember once upon a time when we thought this, you know, that's now seen as a conservative position, you know. Believing in borders and stuff like that is kind of a conservative position now. It's that kind of stuff. It's like the Roseanne show. Remember the Roseanne show? That was the #1 show on ABC News before they canceled her because she said something that was racist. That Roseanne was on there. You had Tim Allen. I think Tim Allen had some show. I don't remember the name of it. You know, maybe Mel Gibson needs to make another movie. Let me read these super chats. Beefy Beefy McWhat now says, God bless you, Mike. Keep fighting the good fight. And then the WWG1 WGA thing. Appreciate you. MAGA Maniac, thank you for the super sticker. And you got the Black Lives MAGA avatar. Love it. Love to see it. Whoops, and there was another one that might have just disappeared. Todd said, dude, you need mods. I have mods. Where are my mods? I don't know where my mods are. Do we have trolls in there or what? If we got trolls, highlight them. Somebody said she's a whack job. I don't know who you're referring to. Roseanne? I hope you're not talking about Roseanne. Someone said, hey, Mike, I watched Tim Cass the other night, and he said when someone comes at you with negative thought, you just be positive because positivity spreads just like negativity. It does, actually. Actually, I've been telling people this at the flag waves. When people drive by and flip us and they get triggered out of their like Trump, I'm losing my streak. People do that when people flip us off. I just say like, yo, God bless you. When you tell somebody God bless you after they just like scream and rage in your face, they have no response. They have no response. You kind of like, you kill them with kindness. That's actually the best possible response, because when they scream at you, they're trying to get a reaction. They want you to try to match their energy. But you need to dodge those toxic vibes, and you combat them with love. You just say, hey, Jesus loves you. God bless. You say that to somebody who just yelled at you and cursed you out and flipped you off. That's going to have more damage than if you curse them out. If you curse them out, it's just going to escalate. You're basically fighting fire with fire. If you want to douse their evil flames, tell them that they're amazing. Say something nice about them. Even if you don't believe it, even if you don't agree, say something like that, and that will really shut them down. They have no response for it. Or if they do, they'll instantly be like at a loss for words. I've done it. That's what you have to do. God is love anyway. Zombies allergic to love. Yeah, I mean, I see people flipping them off back, and they'll say like, you're a loser. It's like you're not changing their mind by shouting back. Don't even give them the satisfaction. Gameplay. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the love. I appreciate how many people are tuned in this late. It's almost 12:30 here on the East Coast. But appreciate everybody that's tuned in right now. I thought I was running on fumes, but I feel a little gassed up now. I found my second win for the night. I could just burn the midnight oil. Maybe I'll just do a marathon live stream. Maybe I'll just, let's see. Maybe I'll go till like 2 a.m. Maybe not. Probably not. But I've already gone about an hour. Republicans and Democrats are essentially one party now. Political class and corporatists are gaining power by the day. Yeah, I mean, if you look at what happened over the last year, the entire year of 2020 was a steal. You witnessed a controlled demolition of the United States of America, the economy, the biggest transfer of wealth in modern history, the biggest scam to steal freedom in modern history, maybe. You know, and we haven't turned back, which is the scary part. I can't recall a single time where government grew took freedom and then gave it back. I can't think of a single time when that's happened, where government grew, took freedom, and then gave it back. So that's what's happening now, is the merger between big tech, big banks, big government, big corporations. They're all merging together. Like, think about Jeff Bezos. Nobody's happier about all these businesses being shut down than Jeff Bezos. Walmart. You think they want competition? No, they're happy to watch the life squeezed out of your small business. They have the money to withstand Biden's proposed $15 an hour minimum wage, because they were going to phase out some of those employees anyway. You won't be getting waved at the next time you go to Walmart in 5-6 years. It's going to be that freaking creepy ball-headed robot. What's that robot called? Sophia? That's who it's going to be. They're already replacing you with those self-checkout lanes if you're a cashier. So they're fine with it. It just accelerates automation. So they can withstand big government, but you can't when they force your small pizza shop to provide health insurance and $15 an hour minimum wage to all of your employees, even if they just bust dishes part-time or whatever. They're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay for their, in some cases, you may have to help fund them going to school or whatever it is. They're going to extort money out of you and force you into a situation where your business has to close. And in the process, some of these small businesses that can't afford to pay $15 an hour, they're going to shrink the size of their workforce. They're going to cut hours. And that's because you have these big corporations merging with big government and big tech there to censor and crush any competition, like Parler. You know, do you see how it all kind of works together? It's all just working in unison. Someone said, Maxie Pad, the Red Queen, Mad Max. If you see anybody from that cabinet, get out and create a crowd. Like, you can just see the evil on her face. When you look at photos of her, how do you not see the demonic force that possesses her? She has an evil spirit working within her. She's so viscerally angry. She's just full of vitriol. Some of these people, you look at them and you can see the evil. It's damn near like watching the Exorcist movie, just waiting on their head to spin around. Chris said, thank you for your patriotism. Tell Trump there are Republicans in California who love him. Man, that would have been crazy if he held a rally out there. I'm telling you, if he had a rally anywhere on the West Coast, anywhere in Oregon, Washington, California, I'm telling you, he probably could have shattered the record if he had a big enough venue, because Trump's biggest rally wasn't even in the United States. It was in India when he went to speak to the Hindu nationalists. He had over 100,000 people show up there, and that's in India. But if he had the big enough venue in a place like California that's been neglected, been overrun and crushed by liberal policies, it would have been crazy. I mean, when I did the rally in Carson City, Nevada, I'd say like 85 to 90% of the crowd were all from California. And somebody, one of the warm-up speakers, whoever, one of the people who went out before Trump got there asked the crowd to make some noise if they were from California, and almost the whole crowd did. So yeah, there's no doubt that he knows that there are conservatives in California. I mean, the biggest boat parade, the biggest Trump boat parade was in San Diego. Weren't they in like Santa Monica or one of those areas, Beverly Hills or something? It was like thousands of Trump supporters on the street. This was before the election. Are there any trolls in here? See, the stream that I have pulled up, at least the The chat that I'm looking at right now is a part of StreamYard, so I can't even see the moderators. I can't see the little blue wrench from here. I messed up and closed out the other window from YouTube, the little pop-up chat. That one runs a lot faster, and I can see the mods. Liza Jean said, Trump rallies were spiritual. Millions were there over the years. You are right. You are so right. Here's the thing. Trump rallies, Trump himself, in a weird way, it's in the most like, what's the word I'm looking for? In the most like counterintuitive way, just the most like roundabout way. That's the word I'm looking for. Roundabout. In the most roundabout way, Trump, Maurice Delk, he's a moderator. What's up, man? Take care of the trolls for me, Mo. Trump, in the most roundabout way, brings people together. Trump brings people together. Think about the inspiration that went into people deciding they got this spark. And they're like, let's go stand in front of Mar-a-Lago on President's Day. We haven't celebrated or smiled or been happy about anything since last year, since like 3 months ago. And even last year was hard to crack a smile with everything that we just went through. We haven't had a win. We haven't celebrated. So let's get together, let's gather, and let's smile and let's uplift each other and just be in a good mood. Let's go catch a vibe, and maybe the president will notice us. You know, he brings people together in a way that no political figure in my lifetime has. It's always been about division. Trump brings people together. Biden drives people apart. The establishment, your typical politician, drives people apart because they need us divided against each other. They need us fighting over Democrat, Republican, left, right. They need us in our little political tribes so that they can conquer us. But Trump actually brought people together, people from all walks of life, people from all different parts of the political spectrum, people from different parts of the world, people whose English is not that strong. Their love for this country is strong, and you can see it. You can see it radiating from their heart. I mean it. Like, you can see it. And all those people would get together and gather at those Trump rallies, and it was something just spectacular. One of the best experiences of my life was going to one of those rallies. It was my destiny to be there. It's my destiny to be right here. It's your destiny to be right here. God doesn't make mistakes. The spiritual warfare we're in right now is so real. And I've felt nothing but love and unity and positivity and patriotism at these Trump rallies from these Trump supporters who the media has been telling me over and over again, Mike, you need to watch your back. These are raging white supremacists. These are neo-Nazis. These are KKK members. They hate you. They hate black and brown people. They hate people of color. You need to watch your back. Nobody I know has met more Trump supporters than me, and I have yet to meet a racist person. But I can tell you that I met so many of them when I lived in Minneapolis. It was more the soft bigotry of low expectations, right? Type racist. It's like the liberal racist. Oh, you're not smart enough to do it. You need my help. But I met all these Trump supporters, not a single racist, but somebody who's never left the Midwest, somebody who's been sitting in their liberal bubble their whole life is going to tell me something different. They've never went out and seen it for themselves. And it's like this love, unity, this positivity, I've experienced it. It's real. Trump brings people together in a divine way. I think God used him to, wake a lot of his children up, bring them together, turn back to God. That's what we need to do in America. We were winning under this president. There was so much going on. Did he do everything right? Well, hell no, he didn't. There was a lot of stuff he could have done better. But hey, he's human. It's just the truth. But on the other side, what you're going to have with Biden is Them driving a wedge between people, telling half the country that they suck and that they're racist and that they're the reason the Capitol riot happened. Someone said they just went and checked out Fake Woke. Yeah, check out that song, man. Fake Woke. That needs to go viral. That song needs to go viral. Everybody needs to hear that. Did I have another super chat come in? Chris said, thank you for your, oh yeah, I read that one. Thank you for your patriotism. Oh, thank you again, though. Just read it twice. What's up, Doug? What's going on? Slam Dog said, where's Hunter? I don't know where Hunter is, but Hunter's probably happy. Hunter is probably happy because his daddy is in the White House. And, you know, he's cleaning house and putting people in positions of power that will not prosecute Hunter, that will not investigate his corrupt business dealings and his taxes and all that stuff. One of his lawyer's buddies just got hired in the DOJ. So you know what it is. Hunter Biden's not going to get prosecuted for anything, but you might if you open your business. If you're too patriotic online, they'll go after you. Someone said the security guard opened up the gates. Why? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I really don't want to go down the rabbit hole of that, of what happened. I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, I want to move on from it. I want to move on from that horrible, time in history. I just want to be done with it. And we are done with it. We're moving on. What happened at the Capitol. That's done. The sanctimonious class telling people that they suck all the time. Trump simply didn't do that. Hollywood Hills, $3 to $4 million home. Yeah. The celebrity class that wants to lecture you. So they can sleep at night, so they can feel better, so they can feel good on the inside, so they can look down on you from their private jets. Someone said Paint the Trump got censored big time. His channel's still there. He'll be back. Someone said fake woke is whack. Can you give me something more constructive than that? What specifically about it was whack? What specifically did he get wrong? Talking to you, Marcus Costa. You said it's whack, but can you explain to me why? Something constructive, something that's truthful, something that's talking about race in an honest way, and you hate it, you don't like it. It's one thing if you think the dude's not talented, but if he just wrote that out as like a poem, or if it was like a speech that he gave, are you going to say he's lying? He's lying like not all white people are racist. Is that a lie or something? I don't get it. I would love to hear why you think the song is whack. Please try to be intellectual in your response. I mean, don't give me a lazy response. No, LL Lewis, I did not get my social media back. If you're referring to my Facebook and Instagram, no, I actually uninstalled those apps. I don't really miss either one. It's not like I have I'm not craving that social media. I don't have like separation anxiety from Facebook. The only reason I miss Facebook is because of the reach. They basically cut my reach in half. I had like 75,000 followers on Facebook, and my Instagram was growing pretty fast. I almost never post on Instagram, and I had like almost 6,000 followers. So I was actually planning on this year growing my Instagram a lot more, because Instagram is where I still have a lot of friends and family, people on the left that follow me. And that's where I was posting a lot of clips and stuff like that. So it kind of sucks that I don't have my Facebook anymore, because I would be blasting out this President's Day thing and trying to promote it. But it is what it is. You know, everything happens for a reason. Facebook was great for the time that I had it, from college on. They burned all my digital books, because I had live streams and videos that I only put on Facebook. There were several times that I could only go live on Facebook or YouTube, and for whatever reason I chose Facebook. So all the work that I did over 3 years, gone, wiped out. Now the page is still there. You can go search for the page, but I have no access to it. And they said that it would be deleted or permanently disabled after 30 days. Now, I don't know if that means it'll be taken down or removed or what, but the page is still there. So, honestly, if I could find a way to actually go and access the page through someone else's page, I would go and save my old videos, so at least I have them. But it looks like I probably won't get it back. And I didn't do anything on Instagram or Facebook, but because Zuckerberg owns Instagram, you know, that's just what he did. Someone said they canceled Facebook and YouTube, or Facebook and Instagram today, because they don't use them. Yeah, people are eventually people outgrow stuff. Like Facebook is nothing anymore. It lost its identity. It's not really that cool. It's changed over time. There's some things I do like about it, like Marketplace is good. Like it is a powerful social media platform. It functions properly. It's reliable. It's just corrupt. It's just sloppy, the management. And it's only going to get worse. They're just going to continue hemorrhaging people. It's just not going to, it's what happens over time. It's bound to happen. Their reign on top is coming to an end. You had 50,000 on Twitter? That's wild. Yeah, I'm still on Twitter. Twitter's honestly not that fun. I got up to almost 20,000 on Twitter, and I dropped down to 13 after they took down Trump's page. And now it's just what I like is Gab. Gab is legit, and Gab is just pure freedom of speech. It's like a safe haven for speech. Say what you want. Anyways, I think I've said about all I can say here. We're approaching 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. I'm very impressed that I'm holding the attention of 200 plus people at this time of night. You could be anywhere else. You could be watching Jimmy Kimmel right now, crack his jokes and tell you why you suck for not being liberal and, all that. You could just not hear your views espoused. So you could watch Jimmy Kimmel. You could watch Jimmy Fallon. You could watch Trevor Noah. You could watch Seth Meyers. There's so many late night shows you could be watching, but you're watching Mike Nificent. I appreciate y'all. Rachel said, "We want the truth. You're giving us the truth." I do my best. It's actually not hard to just tell the truth. It's really free flowing. It's easy. It's natural. And sometimes I get things wrong, but I'll tell you I get things wrong. I would not just purposely lie. I would not just disinform you, but I get things wrong. Sometimes I have to go back and correct. I'm like, oh, wow. It's so much easier to just be like, dang, I got that kind of wrong, than to double down on the lie, which is what a lot of people do. Is when they get caught in a lie, they'll double down, triple down, quadruple down on their lie because they're too stubborn. They have too much pride to eat the crow and move on, take the L and move on. But these late night shows that you could be watching instead of this, I'm grateful that you're not watching them. These late night shows, man, it's a lecture. It's a lecture of you and your evil values that they despise. They despise you. They're telling you that. And they're paying the price for it. I mean, when's the last time you watched any of these late night shows? It's honestly sad at this point. You cannot go anywhere without the leftist dogma encroaching on it. A lot of people want to escape politics, so they turn on a Comedy Central show. I used to love Tosh.0, but now it's a propaganda show. He just still, I still watch TV because I want to know what's going on. I want to know, like, in what ways is the world changing? What kind of stuff is on air? And a lot of it is it's propaganda. It's a dogmatic, it's dogma on loop. It's just constant. It's infiltrated everything. Hockey, football, March Madness, commentators on these sports shows. ESPN sucks. MTV, doesn't matter what channel you go to. The freaking Food Network, they'll put up a Black Lives Matter. It's constant politics. Make America great again. Go back to a time where politics trade everything. You got food companies in there, virtue signaling. Every life, you can't go into Walgreens right now without being confronted with some propaganda of some sort. Like, we here at Kellogg's believe that Black Lives Matter. Like, just sell me some cereal. I don't care what you think politically. Your job is to sell cereal. Your job is to fix my brakes. I don't care if you want to wear a Breonna Taylor face mask. Please just stop. Thank you. What's the name? I can't pronounce that, but you said thanks for being you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Or woman. I don't want to assume your gender there. Yeah, so they've infiltrated your sports with their left-wing dogma. And then when you actually watch the product on the field or the track and field, it's a man crushing a woman in the freaking the 100-yard dash. That's what it is now. So not only are they're putting BLM on everything and other leftist messages, Marxist messages rather, they're putting men and women's sports upside down world. They're putting men and women's sports, but also men are sexist, but also there's infinite genders, but no matter which gender you pick, there's no genders at all, but you should still be a feminist. Women's rights. Kamala Harris is the first female president, but they're, it's what it is, man. A man and a woman. There you go. Someone said it's all Satanist. Satan would have it no other way. Someone said if you don't double mask, then you ain't black. Man, I didn't even single mask. So what does that make me? If you don't double mask and vote for Trump, what color are you? If you have a hard time figuring out whether you're for Biden or for Trump, and if you don't double mask, what color are you? I'm sure there's some lefties that are watching like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, they couldn't wait to forget when Biden said, you ain't black. I had some dude today leaving some comment. He was going back and forth with me about, he commented on the live stream I did the other day with the conservative guy, and he said something like, "You black Republicans throwing your own people under the bus." I mean, his argument wasn't constructive. These arguments typically aren't. They're just loaded up with ad hominem attacks and insults. They make it personal, but they don't actually deconstruct your argument. It's just them attacking you personally and making claims that you never said, you know, accusing you of things you didn't say, just straw man. It's like, man, do you want to be my next guest? I asked him if he wanted to be my next guest, and his response was the equivalent of him calling me like a duty head. It's just really it's just mind-numbing stupidity. Some of the trolls just don't get it, man, because he was talking about Trump's racist record, and he didn't let black people stay at his hotel, the Trump Tower, and Central Park 5, and all. They bring up stuff that has been debunked or was taken out of context. They bring up what Trump did in the 80s, what he supposedly did in the 80s. And they forget what. So we're concerned with what Trump did in the 1980s. But Biden 8 months ago said poor kids are just as smart as white kids. And if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Well, guess what? You ain't real if you don't call out what Biden did 6 months ago. You're afraid. Get out. Biden says and does. But you want to look at Trump. You are fake. You are completely fake. Just call it like I see it. Tell it like it is. While Biden eulogized Robert Byrd, Trump's taking pictures with Rosa Parks, Tupac, Muhammad Ali, Snoop, every rapper you can name, all took pictures with Trump, put him in their music, loved him. Now all of a sudden he's racist. So you're telling me all those Rosa Parks was too stupid to know Parks now? Ridiculous. Meanwhile, Biden's over there taking pictures with Robert Byrd and eulogizing him. Obama eulogized a former Klan member. They're like, well, he gave the game up. He wasn't a Klansman. Okay, so he had a path to redemption. Robert Byrd did when he was an actual Klansman. But anybody on the right side of the political spectrum, you have to define them by their worst moment in their life. You can't forgive them. You can't forgive Marjorie Taylor Greene for what she said 3 years ago, but a former Klansman was eulogized by your favorite president, Obama, and you're cool with it. Because like Robert Byrd, he changed his ways. He left the Klan and he loved black people. Okay. Forgive a former Klansman, Robert Byrd, but they're mad at Trump for some of the stuff that he said that they took out of context, or people, framed it in a way to make it seem racist. They'll hold that against him his whole life. So fake. So fake. Oprah told Trump to run for president. Right. Oprah, another black person who was apparently too stupid to know that she used to affiliate with a racist. So you got Oprah, you got Rosa Parks, you got Muhammad Ali, Tupac Shakur, Jennifer Hudson, all kinds of black people that just loved Trump until he ran for president, and now he's the worst racist in history. They turned him into Lucifer. It's so incredibly fake. And now they're just going to let Biden could say the N-word tomorrow, and nobody on left, they'll gloss it over. They'll forget about it. They'll be like, well, at least it's not Trump saying it. They'll find a way to do the mental gymnastics necessary to say, this is fine. This is fine. Oh, Marcus Costa. Okay, this guy. You're a troll. Hey, Marcus, do you want to email me? Do you want to email me and be my guest on my next live stream? We can debate while you're making all these insults Get out of your feelings. Maybe try to go love yourself. Housing discrimination. Hey, your guy, Joe Biden. Don't you guys let him stay in there. Let's hear what he has to say. Email me, MikeNificent813@gmail.com. Grow a set, grow some stones, email me, and let's have a debate, a discussion. But only if you can keep your emotions in check. I'm gonna need you to get all those insults out of your system. And why don't you debate me live? Come on my channel so I can formally run circles around you on a debate. Let's do it. Let's do it. Marcus Costa, can you do it? Can you email me? Or you're going to run and hide? Would you prefer to hide behind a keyboard with no avatar and just spew your little nonsense? Call me names. Talk about my housing discrimination. My housing discrimination. Your guy said you ain't black. You ain't black. That was different. I mean, this is Joe Biden. He eulogized the Klansman. Marcus, yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I got my phone right here. Send me a quick email, MikeNificent813@gmail.com. Send me an email right now and say, I'm down to debate. That's all I got to do. It'll take you less than 2 minutes. He ain't going to do it. You guys know it. We all know it. He's going to hide behind his keyboard. And why are you even watching me? Go turn on Jimmy Kimmel. Do you know how weird it is to just sit there and watch something that's just driving you crazy? And yeah, explain to me why all of these black people didn't see what you apparently are so smart, you big galaxy. You're apparently able to see Trump did this. He's so racist. He's so racist. He did this in the 1980s. How come all these people since the 1980s didn't have that problem? I'm just curious. You timed him out for 5 minutes? No, it's not a loser. Let's get him back on here. Let's get him on here. Jesus loves you, Marcus. I appreciate you watching. You know, Jesus loves you. You want to see if somebody's really working for Satan? If they're really mad at you, tell them Jesus loves them and see if their head spins. See if they melt down. See if the anger really, like, see this cross right here? The cross, Jesus Christ, you know, say something really positive and, you know, godly to them and see how they respond. You know, work the demon out of you. Yeah, Biden did say the N-word, but Marcus doesn't care. People like that, they don't care. Those little inconvenient facts, they're like, man, that was different, man. At least it wasn't Trump saying it. My watch is over here thinking I worked out. Because when I get worked up, man, such clown world. Such a clown world. Try to untime him out. I'm curious. I don't have an email yet. He probably left. He probably went to go turn on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel late night, Trevor Noah. He went to go get himself some confirmation bias. He went to go get somebody to reinforce what his beliefs are. I mean, might as well. Why would you focus on something that you don't like? Why would you spend all your time to do that? Focusing on what you don't want. I'm going to spend my Thursday night watching some guy named Mike Nificent on YouTube. I'm going to hate him through the chat, call him all these names because I can't debate. Because I'm a mental midget, intellectual lightweight. Hold on. Let me read some more of these comments. And I need to turn my heat down. I need to read some of these comments. Yes, I have my heat on in Florida. You guys have no idea how cold it's been. There was frost on the grass this morning. Chat is a hoot, somebody said. You can't debate crazy. Are there any more lefties in there. Anybody who's watching right now, we got 221 people watching. There's anybody who wants to debate, wants to have a discussion. I prefer it to be civil. I prefer it to be productive. Email me. Let's do it. I'm making a commitment, strong commitment this year to have people on my channel so we can engage in conversation. If you think you're going to come at me and try to, if you're not going to do it in good faith, you'll get dismantled. I will defeat your arguments. You'll get embarrassed. But if you just want to have an honest discussion and gain a different perspective, understand where I'm coming from, I'll understand where you're coming from. Let's do it. But if you want to be like Marcus and just get all pansy pants and weird and goofy, then, you can go watch one of the late night shows. Let them bore you to sleep. Oh, yeah. Marcus is back in the chat. He's not going to email me. Yeah, he's a coward. Coward. Okay. Just kidding. I'm not going to insult you, man. Jesus loves you. God bless you. You're such a good person. I have no facts. You have all the facts. You have all the facts, man. Marcus has all the facts, man. He's the smartest one in this chat right now. Someone said, I'll take your Florida cold weather and trade you my Montana cold. That's going to be a hard pass. That's going to be a hard pass. What else is up, guys? What else is up? I think I covered everything. We got one person here who is he's going to be a conservative by the end of this. Marcus is going to be a conservative because he's still watching me. I have no idea why. It's kind of weird, but he's still watching me and he's getting the attention here. But I've covered a lot of other things. I talked about, of course, Maxine Waters, the Wicked Witch of the 43rd Congressional District in Los Angeles. She's run her district into the dirt, and she apparently doesn't lose any sleep over it. She pens letters to Fidel Castro. She calls for incivility, and now she wants Trump to be tried for attempted murder. She sits on the Financial Affairs Committee or something. I don't know what it is, but when she was talking to the banks, I want to say it was the beginning of 2019, they made a fool out of her. She had no business being in that position. She was like talking to them about giving out student loans and stuff and how she's going to crack down. They're like, we're not allowed to do that anymore. Don't you? Like, the guys were really like genuinely confused by this woman trying to badger them over something that they haven't had control over for years relating to student loans. And she looks like a fool. All of the stupidity, all the things that she said. She doesn't have a high IQ. She's very dumb. It's not true. She's dumb. So there, yeah, Maxine Waters, Marjorie Taylor Greene, AOC getting caught in her lie, all of the nonsense. Oh, man. Now that is a real troll, YouTube user. That is a for real troll. We got to get that troll out of there. Don't spam up my chat, man. All right. You've been blocked. Blocked. You're out of there. Boom. Hey, LL Lewis, are you a moderator? If you're not, I got to make you a moderator. I can't tell if there's mods in there right now. Lisa said, Mike, tell everyone how important the documentary will be to show the voter fraud, and they will all look like fools on February the 9th when trial starts. I do not know what you're talking about. I do not know what you are referring to. Damn, where are these trolls coming from? Moderators, where y'all at? Hold on here. We're going to rectify this problem real quick. Just you wait. I got to get the chat. Let me see. Okay. Pop out chat. Okay, now I can see. Joker. Okay, we got like 2 mods in here. This is crazy. How did I not know? So the mods are being overworked right now. Got it. I'm gonna need to get some more mods. I feel like I got like 30 or 40 of them, but they're not always online. And they, you know, to be fair, it's like 1 a.m. We have 6 mods right now. I only see 2. I see Joe Kerr and LL Lewis. They coming in hot. They coming in hot. Kathy said, "Hey, Mike from Enterprise, Alabama." I never heard of Enterprise. I don't know where that is. What's the biggest city that it's close to? How close is it to Auburn? I want mods that watch my live streams on the regular. Todd T.G. Do you watch on the regular? And I apologize for the quality not being as good. You would think the quality would be good, even though I'm not connected to the router because none of my other devices are running right now. And I'm not that far from the router. Yeah, guys, I don't know what else to talk about. Questions. I understand it's buffering too. Yeah, I know it's freezing up. I know. I'm probably just gonna end this. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this down, guys. I'm gonna shut it down. The connection is real kind of, but yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. God bless you. I'll be back soon. You guys have a good night. Get some rest. I'll see you later. Peace.